All right, let's see if the stream is good. So I'm gonna mute this real quick. Okay. I'm just waiting for it to appear on here. I'm gonna have to reload my screen. All right, let's see if the stream is good. Oh, yep. All right, we got it. Yo, Mason, can you hear me, bro? All right, guys, just waiting for Hoax to get his stuff connected on Discord, so we can hear him speak, and then we'll get started. Not gonna be on here for a long time. Should be about like 2 hours or so, maybe a little less. If you guys don't know, I'm a New York Knicks fan. Well, not really fan, but they're my home team. So tonight's game 2 of the NBA Finals. So yeah, trying to get this done before 8 o'clock, so me and my fam can get ready to watch the game downstairs. But yeah, I don't think you ended up fixing your Discord. Okay. My mic and stuff is working. Okay, let me... Let me see, bro. Hold on. Okay. Give me a minute. If the audio doesn't work, we might just have to go on StreamYard again, like we did the last time. So that's fine. Yeah. Trying to figure out how to get Mason on here, bro. This shit is so annoying. Yeah. All right. So, Hoax, how about this? We'll end this stream, go do the StreamYard thing we did again. I'll send you the invite link, and then we'll just restart the stream. Hold on. All right. Let's not start a StreamYard stream, but if we join together, or if we join on together, we can talk through that without needing to start up a new stream. Okay. Just let me know how to do that, because I've never done that before. Kind of just walk through the process real quick. Sorry for the technical difficulties, guys. Hope to have this stuff fixed by now. Yeah, bro. I'm not ending. I just read your chats. Yeah, just need to walk through like how to do it so we can get you on here, so we can get started. Wait, are you talking about join on the phone? Hold on. Let me focus on your live stream on YouTube. Sure. All right. What is your favorite Teen Wolf season? Man, I can't even remember, because I haven't watched a show in such a long time before, like recently, so I can't even remember what my favorite season was. I'm pretty sure I said season 3. Hold up. Yo. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We got a lot to get into tonight. Happy 15th anniversary to Teen Wolf. Very excited to be back. Got a lot of stuff. As you guys can see, I got like 5-6 videos already ready to go. So we're back. Bet. Gotcha. Okay. I see what he was doing. Okay. Yeah, I don't need to start the cam. That's fine. Okay, enter.
Yo.
All right, hold up. I hear you, bro. I'm gonna that, bro. That was low key a smart idea from you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna see if I'm gonna see if the stream can hear you real quick. Yeah, I don't need to start the cam. That's fine. I think it's delayed a little bit, so just give it a couple seconds.
Yeah, we heard from the stream.
All right, hold up. I hear you, bro. I'm gonna. Okay. All right, I hear you, bro. All right, bet.
All right, I'm a bit of a genius. What can I say?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Sorry, y'all. We got the technical difficulties fixed. Discord blowing my shit again, but yeah, we're back. Damn, okay, we got some people in here. More than I thought there would be, to be honest, given how long I've been gone for. But anyway, welcome back, guys. Hoax, if you wanna talk to the people real quick, you can introduce yourself to give them a little reminder.
Introduce myself. I'm Hoax Hawks. I was posting very prominently for a couple years, got around 200,000 subscribers. I'm a regular on the channel, but I stopped posting Teen Wolf content. But I'm back to celebrate 15 year anniversary.
All right,
I'll just wake up, so if I'm a bit slow on my words, keep that in my chat. Don't believe me here.
All right, Josie says she can't hear anything. It might be an issue with the audio on your end because I have the stream pulled up on another tab here just to make sure the audio is fine. And I can hear the stream just fine. I can hear Hoax. I can hear myself. So it might be an issue on your end. I don't know. But yeah, we're good over here. But anyway, we got a couple of sections for today's stream that I wanted to get through. I kind of pre-planned all of this for 2 weeks. So first section is going to be our history with Teen Wolf, my history with Teen Wolf, Hoax's history with Teen Wolf. Then it's going to be the season 1 retrospective. Does it hold up after 15 years? Because today is the 15th anniversary of season 1. Then we're going to do a whole section where we're talking about our nostalgia and retrospective for the show as a whole. Then a Teen Wolf the movie segment, right? Oh man! Oh bro, yeah. And
some
really,
arguments were had, chat. That first came out. Some arguments were had between Jade and I.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, basically talking about the movie's legacy and did it hurt the series' image, overall, for a long time. Then I'm gonna do the next section after that is gonna be a recap on the first 10 years of the channel. Pretty much recapping from the beginning all the way to when I made my retirement back in January. Then announcing, my return, which is today, as of now, today. Talking about how I found my love for Teen Wolf again after 3 years, because there's a video I have coming out tomorrow called Everything Addressed, where I kind of go into very, very serious detail about a lot of stuff you guys didn't know that happened to me basically off the channel and in real life that led to all my breaks and stuff. It's a very good video. I open up about a lot of stuff in there that I never revealed, so that should be a decent video. And then plans for the next decade. So from now to 2036, I got a lot of stuff that I've been brainstorming the last couple of weeks, coming up with some new trends. Basically, coming up with my best idea, in my opinion, since I came up with the supernatural fantasy fights back in 2020. So it should be pretty dope. And then talking more about the Everything Addressed video. And then we're going to end the stream and react to all the super chats if we do get any super chats tonight. In past live streams, for those of you guys who are new, I have gotten super chats prior. They're not required. They are greatly appreciated, though, if you guys do send a super chat. So thank you in advance for that. And with that all said, let's get started. Yeah, bro, do you want to go into your history with Teen Wolf and how you got into the show first?
Sure. So it was around 2014, I believe it was. I was staying over at my mum's side of the family, and my cousin at the time was very into the show. I remember staying up all night with her on this busted up lounge because my mum's side of the family, not a good side of the family. So, yeah, anyway, we're on like this busted up lounge with this shitty old laptop, and I binge watched so many episodes of season 1 that night. I didn't sleep at all, and then it was months before I even got it on Netflix to continue watching, but that show was on my mind ever since that day. And then I finally got it on Netflix, and since that day and so forth now, I've rewatched the show a billion times. I'm telling you, I was obsessed with the TV show. There's even a point, chat, that before I was Hoax Talks, before I was Hoax Productions or Mason Comics, whatever you might know me as now, when I was younger, I was also posting Teen Wolf content. I was doing like little fan edits and stuff. That was back in like 2016. So I've been in the community for a little while. And yeah, basically, I had this love for the show, and after watching it for so many years, I came across Jade's Corner's channel, and I figured I want to do that. So I started posting Teen Wolf content, and Hoax Talks took off in 2023, and it allowed me to do some pretty cool things like collab with Holland Roden and talk to a few cast members. And I don't know what else to add here, dude. If I'm being real with you, it's not that much of a story. I just really like the show.
Yeah, actually, all that stuff I didn't really know because we know, like, you know, we're friends outside of YouTube. I knew a little bit of it, like you getting into it in around like 2014, but like all the new stuff you just mentioned is pretty cool, bro. I didn't know like all that stuff kind of factored into, how much you came to love the show eventually.
Yeah, it was when we first started watching with my cousin, the whole thing was who could stay up the longest, and something to do was to watch the show. And because I loved that show so much, that first couple episodes, I stayed up all night watching it while my cousin fell asleep. So that was... And then I also remember later on when I think season... 2014 I was watching, that's when season 3 came out.
Season 3, part 2 and season 4.
Yeah, I remember when season 4 dropped, and I remember watching that for the first time as well, dude. When I was younger, this show meant like it was like an escape for me, like it was a comfort show. That's the reason why I love this show so much, because it allowed me to escape from my own world and live in this new world with all this amazing lore and all these characters that I love. So everything that was going on through my life, Teen Wolf and that show was an escape for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, bro. It was kind of the same for me. So I guess I can kind of get into how I got into Teen Wolf, which for a lot of the new people, because there's been a lot of new people surprisingly coming to the channel in recent months. Like the channel's damn near grew to almost 19,000 subscribers since I left. So that's quite a bit of a shock. But for those of you guys who are in chat right now who are OGs, you know my story, you know how I got into the show, but I'll still explain it for a lot of the new people who are in here who may not be familiar with my story. So I knew about Teen Wolf back when season 1 first came out. I remember seeing it on the Netflix in the Americas when season 1 first dropped on Netflix, and I think this was around the time season 2 was airing on MTV, so this was like back in 2012. I had seen one episode from Teen Wolf, and that episode actually ended up being Night School, and when I saw Night School, it terrified me, especially Alpha Peter's design. I think I was like, maybe...
I got scared too.
Yeah, bro. Dude, I gotta make a video on Alpha Peter, man. After rewatching season 1, that dude is an absolute demon, I swear.
Watching it now, you're like, what am I seeing? But Chad, I guarantee you when you're younger and you see that on screen for the first time, you're gonna be scared.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's going to be especially interesting seeing in the coming years, like when Teen Wolf starts to reach the 20th anniversary and you get all the Gen Alpha kids starting to discover it for the first time. It's going to be very interesting to see their reactions to it and how they feel compared to like the middle tier Gen Zs like me and you and our sort of generation. So yeah, it was 2012. Saw Night School, got terrified of Peter's alpha form, never watched Teen Wolf again. And I didn't have an interest in it at the time. So 2 years later, 2014 comes around. I see a trailer for a little film called The Maze Runner. And I become obsessed with that movie. I become obsessed with Dylan O'Brien. I go see it opening night in September 2014. Becomes one of my personal favorite movies of all time. Still is to this day. I really love that franchise, especially the first Maze Runner, because I think that movie is really good. So I started looking up various different things that Dylan O'Brien was a part of, and I just happened to figure out that he was a part of Teen Wolf. Now, I didn't initially watch Teen Wolf at first because around winter 2014, I think this was like December, I ended up actually getting into the Vampire Diaries, Supernatural, the 100, and the originals first. So that all came like a year before I actually made the decision to finally get into Teen Wolf, because I had also seen Maze Runner: The Scorched Trials when it came out opening day, and I was like, okay, I need to stop putting this off and go, see Teen Wolf. I've been wanting to watch it for a while, so I finally made the leap in winter 2015, and this was around the time I think this was in between the time of season 5A ending and season 5B starting, so I got caught up on the first 4 seasons within a couple of days. I tried to binge all of it before season 5B aired, and by the time I finished, it was right in time for The Last Chimera to drop, which actually came out the day before my birthday, January 5th, 2016, which just talking about it makes me so nostalgic because, I have a real love and attachment for season 5 because it was the first season I got to watch live during the era where, Teen Wolf was still on air and the fan base was, you could argue, at its strongest. So yeah, and then the rest is pretty much history from there. I got inspired because there were some things in Teen Wolf that I think I could have done differently. And I eventually wanted to make my own story or sort of reboot of Teen Wolf. And that's how I came up with the comic book I worked on called The Teen Wolf, which eventually turned into its own separate thing entirely in 2020 called True Alpha. A lot of my longtime subscribers know what that is. I eventually work on True Alpha, write all the chapters, drop the book in 2023. It's still on Amazon if you guys want to go buy it. It's like $10. And then, 2016, I don't talk about Teen Wolf yet on here. The channel was really a Mortal Kombat channel at first. So I was talking about, Mortal Kombat lore. I think Mortal Kombat X was still relevant at the time. So I was making content on that. And then eventually I wanted to make Teen Wolf content because I didn't have anyone in my personal life who really watched Teen Wolf at the time. So I kind of felt a little bit alone. So I was like, okay, I'll build my own community of people who are like-minded like myself, who really like the show. So, I made my first top 10 strongest werewolves in Teen Wolf video, and it blew up within the first 2 weeks. I think it reached like 50, 60K in 2 weeks. And then by like a month after it released, it was around like 90 to 100,000 views. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got started on here and how I got into Teen Wolf. So that's pretty much my history with the show there. So yeah, is there any, bro, was there anything that I mentioned that you did not know that I haven't told you before?
No. I mean, I pretty much knew all that already from being earlier.
Bet. I could have swore I left out some details, but I can't remember it, child.
There's another thing too. I remember when season 6, I remember when 5B dropped on Netflix, and I remember when season 6. Oh man, this is getting confusing. I remember when season 5B dropped as well. And I remember binge watching it on Netflix. I remember waiting, because I wasn't able to watch it on live television. I had to wait until the season dropped on Netflix, and I didn't keep up with anything. So it was like a surprise for me every time a new episode dropped on the streaming platform. I remember when season 6A dropped, and I again binge watched that the entire night. And it's such a binge-worthy show, man. I can always put it on.
Yes, it's so binge-worthy, bro.
It's a binge-watching show.
I 100% agree with that. It's very binge-worthy. Binge-worthy. Yeah. Especially recently with, me rewatching season 1. I'm like, dude, I understand why I used to rewatch this show so many times a year at some points in time. It's just, it's like one of the ultimate just turn on, sit back, relax, don't really worry about anything going on in the real world. Just kind of tap out and just enjoy the show kind of television series. So yeah.
Also, hold on, nothing too. Is I've always been like a fan of werewolves growing up. Like, so my sister made me watch Twilight when I was younger as well.
Shout out to
And
Twilight, bro.
Yeah, I remember thinking like, holy shit, Jacob is the coolest thing to ever exist. So by the time I finally got around to Teen Wolf, I was like, holy shit, it's a TV show. It's specifically about werewolves. So that was another thing that made me love the show even more. And also the unique take on the werewolf design as well. You never really saw that anywhere else apart from Teen Wolf. The glowing eyes, the half partial form. It was very unique at the time, and I think it was amazing. If I'm being real, I think it's cool as hell. Like an alpha werewolf with like red glowing eyes. How is that not cool?
Yeah, like the show really did things that hadn't really been done in the sort of werewolf horror subgenre sphere before. I know the show gets a lot of flack for its werewolf designs, but I do think that they were kind of trendsetters because if you were around at the time and on Tumblr and all those, little social media sites, like everybody was making edits of their eyes having the red alpha eyes and the gold beta eyes. Like it was so cool to see, this community be active and so together at that time. And even though I wasn't there for the first couple of seasons, I was still there to a point where, it was still strong enough. The fan base was for all of that stuff to still be, relevant and present. So getting to see that in real time in the show's prime was really awesome. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, and again, one thing, because I did collab with Holland Roden, and that's another moment that I come back to. That's like a highlight of the show for me. Is like I spent years watching this character. I spent years loving this character, and then as I'm older, I get the opportunity to actually talk and collab with her, and she gets to watch my videos. It was like a full circle moment where I was watching her growing up, and then she watched me. So that's another thing that, like, when I look back at Teen Wolf and what I did on YouTube for the community, that stands out above all else for me.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when you were doing the fandom stuff with Holland Roden and how she was reacting to your content, and that was definitely one of the biggest highlights of your time on YouTube. I can say that with 100% certainty. That was an amazing, awesome time. And that wasn't too long ago, right? That was like 2023, 2024-ish, around that time? Yeah.
And, chat, the reason this is so significant, right, is because there are other content creators in this scene, especially at the time, like Teen Wolf News, who had like a direct access to Jeff Davis. So it was pretty hard for Jade and like myself to really get any connections to the cast members or any of the producers or directors. And Jade can speak for his own here, but when we first started becoming friends, like I tried so hard to get in contact with the cast. Like I was like trying so hard. I remember like I got like Vince Mattis's like dad's email because like he was a doctor. I was like, hey, can I interview your son and all this type of stuff. Back then I had no boundaries. I even like it was a whole thing, but I was relentless. I was like the Terminator when it came to get this guy's emails. So when I finally, and also the reason I got the collab was from a cold email. So basically, it was like a auto renewal email where once a day you get this fanwood thing, and it just kept coming. And I was like, you know what, might as well shoot my shot. So I cold emailed them, and it went through. So let there be a lesson: you miss 100% of the shots you never take. So
facts. That is
cold email. I would not have had a little fan moment.
That is a very true statement, folks. You do miss 100% of the shots you do not take. Stopping to read chats real quick. Josie says, have you seen Ginny and Georgia? Yes, I'm a huge fan of Ginny and Georgia. I love that show. I think it's great. One of my siblings actually got me into it back around the time season 2 came out. So, yeah, love that show. It's probably the last Netflix show I still watch, to be honest, because all my other shows, Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, they're done. So, yeah, don't really care for Netflix aside from that, to be honest. I miss Cobra Kai so much, man. I can't believe it's been like a year since it ended.
That's another show that I can always rewatch. Cobra Kai.
Yes.
Especially that first 2 seasons. Oh my god, that was like peak. I was watching Cobra Kai when it was on YouTube first. So I watched all of that before it even went to Netflix. And though that first season and that second season vibe was amazing. I think the first and second season are written so well compared to the later seasons. Not that they're bad, they're good, but season 1 and 2 had a unique vibe to it.
Facts, definitely agree. I remember just hearing about the school fight at the time, and I was like, what? And then I saw a clip of it on YouTube, and I was like, oh, shoot, I gotta watch this. And yeah, the rest was just history from there. I love the cast. Like you said, the writing in season 1 and 2 is peak. I still like a lot of the later seasons, especially, you know, that last half of the final season. I think the final 3 episodes were awesome for the show. And that's crazy how in 2026, Cobra Kai has the best finale in comparison to The Boys and Stranger Things. Can you believe that? That's insane, bro.
Well, I kind of enjoyed The Boys finale. I think a lot of the hate for The Boys was kind of like...
Yeah, it was kind of overblown, not gonna lie.
But one thing with, like, Cobra Kai is, like, when I look back at it, how did, like, a karate competition in the 80s turn into Kreese fighting on a yacht that blows up and kills him and Terry Silver? Like, it's when I look at it like that, I'm like, hold on. It really escalated pretty far as the seasons went on. I think to an unrealistic standard, but I do admit that the last, like, 3 episodes or so is amazing, especially William Zachman's acting.
Yes.
When he finally gets that resolution with Kreese, that was amazing.
Yeah, 100% agree. That was probably the best written scene in the entire show. Not gonna lie.
The acting as well, man. The delivery was good.
Yeah, from both of them, not just Zabka. Devontae says, I only use Netflix to watch Monday Night Raw. Listen, bro, I haven't watched the WWE since, like, the 4th grade, bro. I haven't watched since, like, Christmas 2012. Once I found out it was all fake, I couldn't look at wrestling the same again. It just tainted my whole view.
Of wrestling, I'm being real with you.
You said what?
I was never a fan of wrestling growing up. I'm being real with you.
Really?
Never understood it. Yeah, I was like, how can you watch something that's fake? Like, where's the fun in it?
Yeah, I always thought, like, all the beefs were real and the storylines were real. But, you know, I was a kid, so I was gullible. But, like, I used to be so into it. Me and, like, all my friends at school used to be like, yeah, John Cena and The Rock and Randy Orton. And then once I found out it was fake, I was just like, yeah, guys, sorry, I can't watch anymore. It permanently tainted my view forever. So,
yeah.
All right, moving on to the next section, we have the season 1 retrospect. So does season 1 hold up 15 years after its release? I guess I'll take this first since you did the last segment first, and just because I've seen season 1 in recent weeks. So, does it hold up? I would say yes, but it's not the best season of the show. I think we all know what the best season of the show is, and no, it is not season 3 part 2 like everybody in the fandom likes to say it is.
It's clearly season 6 part B.
Hey, listen, when I get there, I might change my mind because
not even season. The best part of this show was the movie that came later on.
Oh,
Don't
God.
listen to Jay. He was going to try and tell you the movie was trash. He's going to try and tell you the seasons were better. Take it from me, Hoax Talk's official statement. The movie, the best ever.
Yeah, the movie was so good. Now you can watch it for free on YouTube. Can you believe that? Crazy.
Is it on YouTube for free?
Yeah, but I do think the first season holds up really well. I think that the premiere, I think because I've seen it so many times, I don't think it has the same effect on me now that it did back then. It's still good, but you know, I've heard the jokes 1,000 times. I've seen all the scenes 1,000 times. I think the most impressive part of season 1 for me, honestly, is how the makeup team did such a phenomenal job with the Alpha Peter design. Because I think for the time with the budget that they had, even though the CGI does not hold up well at all, it looks pretty bad now. I still think at least the practical aspect of that design they did a very good job with. So I will give them their credit and props there. In terms of the acting, I think it's fine. There's other seasons of the show where the actors actually try a lot more and the acting and performances are way better. But for a first season, it's okay. It's not anything groundbreaking aside from like Dylan O'Brien and all of his, genius comedic timing with Styles. And I actually think one of the stronger performances of the first season is Ian Bohen as Peter Hale in the Alpha. I think I really enjoyed his performance as the Alpha this time around with this rewatch. So, yeah. I also got to see the extended version of Code Breaker for the first time because I have all the seasons on DVD finally after I had been trying to get all of them on DVD since 2017. So, yeah, in 2024, I managed to grab all 6 seasons, have them now on DVD. And with the season 1 DVD, you get the exclusive DVD only extended version of Codebreaker, which adds a couple of extra padded scenes to kind of flesh out some of the stuff that was kind of weird when the the televised version of the episode came out. And I actually prefer that version over the original Codebreaker, which is the version everybody knows that you can watch on Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon. So, yeah, that was a pretty cool experience too, and I think that's actually my preferred way of watching the first season now. But overall, I think the first season holds up pretty well. I'm currently at the beginning of season 2. Season 2 is off to a great start. Can't wait to get to the rest of season 2 and see how I feel about it, after such a long time from now watching, and the rest of the seasons, of course. But yeah. Hoax, if you want to share your thoughts on season 1 and how you feel about it now compared to,
Do I think it holds up? I got to remove the biasness here. I feel like if you have never touched Teen Wolf in your entire life, and you've never ever consumed any related media when it comes to supernatural and teen drama shows, would it hold up to your current standard in 2026? I don't know, man, because I feel like Teen Wolf had that little... I don't know how to explain it. A little bit of an unprofessional quality to it where it didn't feel too clean. And also, it was made in 2011. It's set around then. The time period, 15 years ago now, that's the whole point of the stream, 15 years ago, is a lot different to 2026. So if you're watching it with the idea of it being set in this current setting, I think you're going to be a bit disappointed. But looking back, when I look at the writing, I think the writing does hold up, especially in the first season. I think it's funny. I think the acting does have its moments, like you said. It depends on the viewer, if I'm being real with you. But I don't think it's declined in quality as the show's gone on. I think the movie has declined in quality as it's gone on. I think some seasons like Season 6B and maybe... I think Season 6B is really the only season that I've ever really disliked. I think that's the only one that really, the movie, to me, would be the only thing that's really declined in quality as the show has aged. So I think season 1 is I think it's still pretty good. I haven't watched it. I want to watch it again after the stream, probably, since you're doing your whole stream for you to watch. And if I'm going to watch your content, I might as well rewatch the show again.
Yeah, right.
I love it. So I'll do that. Also, I think the first season definitely established characters, in a good way. We learned about Styles and his mother's backstory. We saw the conflict with Jackson. We saw Allison's mother, which, oh my god, she was...
Terrifying, bro. Terrifying.
Yeah, I think the first season did a really, really good job at setting up the later seasons, and I think still holds up. I'm kind of rambling here. I'm being put on the spot, chat. I'm not really good at improvisation. I'm really for 30 minutes, but it's a good show. The season still holds up, in my opinion. It's still good.
All right.
There is some moments where they had to do product placements, and like you'll see Scott whip out like a Nokia.
Yeah, Nokia phone. Yeah.
And you damn well no one's using a Nokia. It's a whole thing. Even like TVD did it too when like Klaus would bring up like his little pen phone. And then
yup.
It's like that's just too much effort. Just text like a normal person.
Yeah, the product placement is definitely a bit much. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, dude, like just seeing Nokia, like it just brings you back to that era, especially if you were there and
Yeah.
present, alive, and old enough to really remember what 2011 was like. It's kind of jarring seeing the first season and all of the clothing style
It
and
must be different from you because the show's set in America. Like I'm in Australia, so the culture is
yeah,
different.
yeah, right. You got to think about the
So
cultural
like
difference too.
when you're gonna watch that, it must be like a bit more nostalgic for you.
Yeah, because I have very fond, like 2011 was a great year, so I have very fond memories of that year. So a lot of my memories, watching the show kind of bring me back to that era and just how things were and how, I just think even life was so much better back then. Like we know we're in this crap economy now with AI and everything, and just to go back to like an era where the Nintendo 3DS was first coming out, and Battlefield 3 and Infamous 2 and Mortal Kombat 9, and you had, Mario Kart 7. Like, you just think about that whole era of, what was going on. Like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, and Tyler the Creator weren't even established artists yet. They all had just made their big grand debuts with their first albums that year. So you think about it like that, and it's like, bro, it's so nostalgic, especially if you have fond memories of that year. On top of the fact that watching the first season literally puts you back in that era, just seeing the show episode by episode. So yeah, it's definitely a cultural difference for sure. I definitely agree with you
Yeah,
there, bro.
yeah. I can't relate to that. I mean, real like Australia and America are so completely different.
Yeah,
But
I can imagine.
I still feel nostalgic when I watch season one, and also this is like a little side note, but what like upsets me is the sets for the real life set for the school in season one has been destroyed. It was demolished a few years
Yeah.
back now.
Yep.
So I always had this little bucket list that when I was like an adult, I'd go and travel to America, go look at the sets. And I wanted to go to the first day of school, but I can't because they demolished it, chat. So let's go boycott the school. Let's go get our ticket signs. Let's walk up to the high school and start like marching it down. I think the high school's closed down currently, so the building's gone as well. So
Yeah.
we'll work around that. We'll go to the right guy, the right people. Whoever owns the land.
All right. Chat says, or Josie says in chat, will you come back to YouTube hoax for Teen Wolf? So I'm gonna let you answer that, bro.
Not in the foreseeable future, if I'm being honest with you. So if you were around, I'm sure we'll touch on this later when we talk about the movie, but Chad, if you were around in 2023, Jade and I had a bit of a falling out because of the movie and a different opinion. That's resolved now, but basically when that happened, I focused on YouTube so much that I saw an astronomical amount of growth that wasn't really seen anywhere else for any other YouTuber in that scene. So I was posting for like a good chunk of the start of 2023 and 2024 daily. So, like, I think in the month of January in 2023, I had like 61 uploads. So you have to consider like I was doing that pretty consistently for about 2 years, and got a bit burnt out if I'm being real doing that because I'd have to spend like hours a day making videos. Sometimes I made 2 videos in a day. I'd have to watch the show over and over and over again to write my scripts and do whatever. And then with the movie being what it is, and that only aging like milk as the time went on, like I don't know if I like posting Teen Wolf content anymore, if I'm being real, chat. So not in the foreseeable future. Maybe I might create a new channel and drop a Teen Wolf video here and there just for fun of it, but in the foreseeable future, there will be no uploads on Hoax Talks ever again.
All right, that kind of answers that question there.
Alright, but you can find me on Mason Comics.
Oh yes, yep.
Yeah, that's my other channel.
Yep.
I just talk about like comics and stuff that interests me. So, if you're a fan of me and not Teen Wolf and you want to follow me, that's the place to go.
Yeah, some of his recent content, I don't think you've uploaded on there. Well, you started uploading again recently, but like
I was pretty busy. I was traveling and doing all this stuff, and I started buying these new action figures. They're called Mafex figures. They're like the high-end 1/12 scale for action figures, like $200 each, dude. And I was like, you know what? I got these. I can make a quick unboxing and like post them. And I haven't expected that much in views, but they're almost about to hit 100 each, which for a new channel
Okay.
isn't that bad.
Yeah, it's not bad,
So,
bro. Yeah, definitely keep at it, bro. I gotta watch and catch up on those two videos you dropped recently. But even the first couple of videos that Mason dropped, phenomenal content, great editing, great delivery, and just overall
thumbnails
just
too.
really good content. Not gonna lie. So yeah, definitely check out Mason's new channel, Mason Comics, if you guys are a fan of comics, Marvel, DC, and all that stuff. He's posting and doing great things over there for sure. Um,
Oh, what is this guy saying? Hey Jade Corner, what up? Make the video. What a team with Theo, Raken, and family Yukimura, Kira, Yukimura, Ashiko, Yukimura, and Ken Yukimura reunion because Kira have done with Theo in season 5B finale. What is that supposed to mean?
I'm gonna try to make the best sense of this I can. I think he's talking about what if Theo didn't get sent. I don't know, to the Shadow Realm that Kira sent him to at the end of season 5. I don't know, to be honest.
It was like that wasn't really touched upon, but it was like their own version of hell. Like,
Yeah.
in like Supernatural, not Supernatural. We know in Teen Wolf, not in Teen Wolf. Sorry, again, I've woken up just half an hour ago. In the Vampire Diaries, when supernatural creatures died, they had like their own little afterlife.
Yeah, the other side. Yep.
Briefly with Theo Raken, where he just relived like his most painful memories over and over again, and it was his sister ripping out his heart while he was running around a hospital trying to escape from her. So, I wish we saw a bit more of that from me earlier.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting, and if I end up doing a what if video, it will definitely be a very interesting what if video to do for sure. Peter also says, I guess I'm going to try to make the best sense of this too. What happened in Teen Wolf post season 6B? Ignore the movie. I kind of already made like a what if Teen Wolf season 7 video, like what would I do? What would the story be, like 5 years ago? So if you want my thoughts on what would happen if the movie didn't happen, because I made that before the movie got announced, go check out that video. I think it has like almost 10,000 views. So yeah, it's blown up a lot more in recent years. But yeah, that's where you can find my thoughts on that there. Moving on.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
A news article. Tyler Posey says he's currently trying to pitch to bring Teen Wolf back. He apparently said, I really want it to happen. I think there's so much more story for Scott and everyone else. I want to keep trying to do that until the wheels come off. So
he said that today?
Yeah, today. So
oh, shoot. Okay.
BuzzFeed said it. So looks like he's still trying to get a second movie up and going.
Well, guess I'll make a new video on that, because it's the first bit of somewhat news we've gotten since September. So, yeah, that's crazy that he's still trying to get it pushed and pushed. I mean, if it happens, I probably won't make a bunch of content like I did with the first movie, because I got so burnt out on it, and I don't want to get disappointed and overhype something that ends up being garbage again. But yeah, I mean, I'll make a video on it every now and then, depending on if there's anything interesting coming out for it. But yeah, moving on to the next topic, we have Teen Wolf as a whole, the retrospective. What are our thoughts on the series as a whole, 15 years later, and how do we feel about all the seasons in general today? So I guess you can kind of go first with this section, bro.
Okay. I have 2 words: absolute cinema. I'm telling you, I'm a bit biased here. I'm getting a bit nostalgic thinking about it, but I'm getting my love back here. But I think, regardless of where I am in the future, will always love Teen Wolf, and I think it's always going to be a good show for me to return to. I believe anyone will enjoy it, especially when you hit season 3. Season 3, you're like, oh my god, what is this?
Yep.
The level of writing in season 3, like, I always see people like talking about how TVD is better, or Supernatural is better, or, I mean, Supernatural is pretty good, actually, I can't even lie there. Or, like, these other TV shows are better. But then I just compare it, like, okay, they're good, but do they have any season, like season 3 of Teen Wolf? That there is peak writing. It's like the only time Jeff Davis put on his thinking cap and actually put it to good use. Season 3, I think I could talk about that for hours.
Yeah.
An amazing season.
Yeah, I love season 3 of Teen Wolf, especially the first part. I love season 3, part 1. Season is goated.
Dude, that's when you get like people always like clown on like Tyler Posey's acting, but season 3, the first part. No, it was the second. It was the first part. Um, the motel episode, Motel
Yeah,
California.
there's part 1. It's part 1.
Yeah. When he's holding the flare and he's crying and he's like, I don't know if I can say the word, but he wants to unalive himself pretty much. Tyler Posey's acting there was phenomenal, and I think that doesn't get appreciated as much. People want to clown on him. I get it. He's a pretty weird guy at times. He's still trying to sell Teen Wolf merch, and he's like 40. But he could act, and I think people kind of overlooked him for his acting abilities, especially in Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I think not even just really season 3. I think season 4 has some of Posey's best performances as Scott, especially that finale where he had that big, awesome fight scene with Peter.
Yeah. When I don't know about you, when I think about Scott McCall, I think about Alpha Scott McCall, and season 4 was really the birth of that.
Yeah.
Season 4 was when you really get Alpha Scott McCall. So
I actually think season 4
when I think about
is.
Scott, I think about Red Eyes, True Alpha, stuff like that, and season 4 onwards.
Yeah, I actually think season 4 probably is the single best Alpha Scott McCall season, because season 5, at least the first part, had Scott doing a lot of dumb things and making dumb decisions that I just think by that point for his character he wouldn't really be making.
Like here's Theo Rakin, a guy I haven't seen in so many years.
Yeah, right?
After all the trials and tribulations I went through with being backstabbed and alpha werewolves trying to kill me and all these spirits, I want to trust Theo Rakin.
Right, and just completely put my friendship with Styles aside and just ditch this dude for this kid I haven't met and I haven't seen in like 9-10 years. Like,
yeah. Jokes aside, when you break it down and everything Scott was juggling, I can see, because Theo was like a master manipulator. He did plant the seeds of doubt. So that's another good written season. Season 5A.
yeah, season 5A is very well written, especially, with everything with the chimeras and the dread doctors. Like, some stuff still hasn't really been explained to this day, but for the most part, what we did get, it was another really well written season. That season's very overlooked. I think it's extremely underrated, and I think it's kind of overhated a little bit.
Yeah, I was thinking about it just then. I really don't really like. I'm not the biggest fan of season 5, but I haven't really given it that much time to really watch and absorb it. So I might actually go back to that after this stream and put on season 5.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I got distracted for a second. I was reading Peter. He sent another chat in the chat. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about, bro. Sorry, I completely missed what you were saying before, because I was like, what is he trying to say here?
Josie said his Teen Wolf news gone too. It's a bit hit or miss actually. If I look up his channel now, he has.
I think he's still uploading. I'm pretty sure he is,
but it's not as himself. It's as like this AI like podcast type thing, and they speak about Paul Ray and and I don't know how to explain it, but there's like these two AI voices that kind of like go over Paul's channel, and there will be moments where like oh, and the great Paul Ray has like a 20-minute video on this. Yeah, what a phenomenal guy. It's a bit weird, but he still posts, so fair enough to him. I don't particularly understand why, if I'm being real, because he's not getting enough views for it to be like anything substantial in revenue. I think it's just for love of the game at this point.
Yeah,
maybe like a little hobby.
It's so crazy, like the fall from grace, and he even lost I think he lost like 300-400 subscribers, because I remember he was at like 40,000 before.
It was like 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, I think.
Yeah, because now he's at like 39K, and I'm like, I could have swore for a long time he was at like that 41,000 mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fall from grace is kind of crazy, but yeah, I haven't seen a video of his really blow up since like maybe the Teen Wolf the movie time period.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
The last thing that blew up was when Wolfpack got cancelled. That's the last.
Yeah. Yep.
I think the fall of Teen Wolf News is when he started using AI and everything for his channel.
Yeah.
That's really what. the downcline was there.
Yeah, yeah. What a fall from grace. I mean, I got some love for the guy. I mean, he's been
Me
here
too.
since the beginning. A lot of the lore of Teen Wolf in terms of like people making YouTube videos on it. He was sort of the first one to do a lot of that stuff. So to see, how far his channel has fallen and with him using his AI voice, it's kind of sad. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Come back, man. We missed you, Paul.
Yeah, hopefully. Hey, listen, Tyler Posey, he's trying to do the Lord's work and bring back Teen Wolf for another, hopefully not god awful sequel. So, maybe he could make some
Yeah.
news on that.
At this point, get a little fundraiser going, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
start a
no, get a
GoFundMe.
fundraiser
Start a
going. Exactly.
GoFundMe.
Go start a GoFundMe. Or donate. You can be Scott McCall. We get content out of it. It's a win-win.
Yup, facts. He says, "What do you think of the idea? Do you find because of this?
Brother,
Do you
what
find
idea?
do you find it interesting if you think Theo would be afraid and Theo would carry the deaths of Tara Ray? Oh, I think he means like when Kira put him in that hellscape. Like, would he be haunted by the deaths of Josh, Gabe,
No.
Tracy, and
No.
Tara?
Probably not. Because it was his most traumatic moment, and he's done so much traumatic shit that I don't think a death like Tracy Stewart really bothers him.
Yeah, like she was just kind of being used for like him gaining power. He didn't really care about her too much at all, to be honest. I guess I can kind of give my thoughts on the series retrospective now. So, how do I feel about the series as a whole? I think, like I said, it's one of my favorite television series of all time. I think really taking a break from watching it so much and letting sort of the disdain I had for the franchise after watching Teen Wolf the movie and eventually coming out of that honeymoon phase and realizing how garbage it was and how it shaped and changed my perspective of the franchise as a whole for such a long time really made me have more of an appreciation for even, the lesser seasons like season 6B. Because listen, anything's better than that Teen Wolf movie, right? So I'm not gonna crap on season 6B as much as I used to when I was younger, because yeah, season 6B used to catch a stray at least once a video, when I was really uploading a lot back then. But yeah, I think the series holds up pretty well. I think, like Mason said, a lot of Tyler Posey's best acting moments of his career, in my opinion, came from season 3, part 1, especially season 4. I think season 6 he has a couple of strong ones. Season 5, here nor there. Really, I think his acting in season 5, there's really only like 2 episodes that come to mind, and that's season 5, episode 18, when he's fighting the Beast in the high school, and then the episode where he fights Liam.
I think the emotional scenes to me is like what stands out, and when he's writing Alison Argent's initials, like the way he conveys that tone in his facial expression, I think is another good acting moment from Scott McCall.
Yeah,
Tyler Posey. Dude, I'm so out of it at the moment. I'm so tired.
Nah, you're chilling, bro. But I definitely agree. Man, the Allison death scene, bro. The
Oh yeah, that too. He acted pretty good when he's holding his Melissa's arm.
Yup. So yeah, but I still think the standout is Dylan O'Brien. I mean, I think Hecklin's also a standout too. Is Derek.
Yeah, but his one thing that I hated about Teen Wolf the movie was they completely changed Derek Hale's character. They saw Tyler Hecklin was playing Superman
yup,
on the CW show, and Jet Davis was like, let's just take that and make it Teen Wolf. It's
but significantly worse.
Literally. And it's not Tyler Hecklin's fault. He acted perfectly fine, but we just knew that he was just putting on a CW Superman performance. So that annoyed me watching.
Yeah.
The other thing too is, I'll get onto the movie part when we're there. So you can continue.
You're good, bro. Hold on. Josie real quick says, didn't he try to copyright you because of the Teen Wolf movie? He actually did copyright strike me. This was back in April 2022. But it was sort of my fault because I was just straight up re-uploading his stuff from his channel. But he still could have privately reached out to me and asked me to take it down, because I think I'm on record saying this. I would have had no issue taking down the videos. I was just trying to get the news out to more people, right? Try to push the news out to as many people as possible. So I think respectfully, he could have just reached out to me and politely asked me to take the content down, and I would have, and there would have been no issue. But he didn't contact me at all. I think I had woken up to this the next day and I just saw Jade's Corner got a copyright claim on 3 videos. You received a strike on your channel. So yeah,
that was a whole thing. I remember like talking to Paul Reed. I don't know his last name if I say it properly, but I remember like talking to him with emails. And dude, we were young back then, so we kind of like. Well, I understand from his situation, like he went to the set, he got kicked off, he's emotional, he's trying to make it better. The footage that he got, I think he probably signed an NDA or whatever, so the footage he illegally released, he's trying to like make up for it. But what sucks is creators like myself, Jade's Corner, like we suffered the consequences of that, but it's whatever.
Yeah. And speaking of suffering the consequences, I guess this can lead into the next section, which is Teen Wolf the movie and its legacy, and did it hurt the series' image as a whole? Oh boy. This is the first time I've talked about this damn movie in 2 years, and boy oh boy, every year that passes, the worse and worse this movie gets. I guess, Mason, since you were the first one to really see it for what it was at first, I guess you can kind of share your thoughts, and then I'll get into mine right after you're done.
Dude, that was... Oh my god. So I remember being so hyped for the movie. I'm down in Sydney at my sister's house. I'm there staying up to watch the movie, and I watched the movie, and I just remember thinking, this is the biggest piece of dog shit I've ever seen. And I remember messaging you, and I was like, dude, have you watched this? And then you were like, that's when we had our first argument, and then
yeah.
One of the reasons I dislike this movie so much is because of the drama that happened afterwards. That also like made me hate the movie even further, because first of all, we spent so much hours making content regarding the movie and hyping it up. I think a lot of the promotional material, at least on YouTube, it came from you and it came from me. We really kept the scene alive on YouTube. So when the movie shit and I go to message my friend and then we argue and then that friendship's over and then I have to it was just, oh my god. And the writing from the two, they try to cram 6 million things into a 2-hour movie, and then they retcon season 3, and then they bring back the biggest villain, but you can't bring back a villain like the Nagitsune that requires hours of setting up, and force him in a 2-hour movie. Then introduce characters like Eli Hale, and let's bring Allison Argent back, because why not? It's just they bit off so many things at once, and they didn't even complete. They were making the script as they went along. Like the actors talked about this. They were still writing the script as they were filming, and he was also writing Wolfpack. So Jeff Davis is writing Teen Wolf the movie. He's writing Wolfpack. He had to use the same sets for both shows. It was just all over the place, and it was a mess. And I think the movie did more harm to the franchise than anything else. The movie killed the franchise.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy, where do I even begin? Yeah, as Mason alluded to, I was in a complete honeymoon phase. If y'all go back and rewatch my reaction to that damn movie. You had me on camera in 4K crying to Derek Hale's death and bawling my eyes out. That's how much I was like, I love the movie. Heavy air quotations there. When it first dropped. And then we got into the argument. If you guys know, if you were there, you know how bad it was. I eventually had to take a mental health break because, it was bad. We're not going to bring up, too much old stuff, but it was pretty bad. But eventually I came to see, what Hoax was talking about. That honeymoon phase, wore off real quick.
Hold on, I've got a question for you.
All right,
how was that like? I never really asked this before, but how was that like when you realized the show was shit? Like, was it like, holy shit, Mason was right? Or like, how did that happen? I remember when we first started becoming friends again, you commented on one of my videos and just expanded through there. But was there a moment when you were sitting back and like, holy shit, Mason was right?
I think
so sexy. He's so smart. Because honestly, I can see doing that.
Yeah, I think it was due to. I think there were sort of like factions at the time with our subscribers. Like, you had the subscribers who had no issues with the movie, who loved it, and then you had the more objective subscribers who were kind of like, yeah, no, this movie's a piece of shit, it's that bad, and here are my reasons for it being bad.
Yeah. Before I'll say this and then I'll continue. Is after the movie dropped, if any of you actually look at the content I made, I did not mention the movie at all. I tried filming reviews, I tried talking about it, but I could not just put into words how shitty this movie was. So I think what helped me and my channel grow is that even though the movie dropped and it was shit, there was that surge of fan base there, and I just made Teen Wolf content without even focusing on the movie, and that carried my channel a lot further than it would have been if I just sat and talked about how shit the movie was. But sorry, you can continue talking.
No, you're good, bro. Listen, this is the rant. This is the only rant section of the video where we get to pop our shit about how garbage this movie is. I mean, we've talked about over the years how terrible this movie is to death at this point, but this is kind of like the last final hurrah for ever talking about this garbage. But yeah, it really came down to like me, hearing out various arguments during my break when I wasn't making content, and I was like, damn. I really sat back and I was like, damn, bro, Mason was right. This movie is shit. It really is that. Like, I just kept thinking about certain things that didn't make sense. I'm like, okay, even though I kind of knew and wanted a lot of the stuff with the Nogutsune to happen in the film, I wasn't really a fan of how they did it. And again, the Allison resurrection, no explanation, makes no sense. Lydia not being able to use her powers because of the stylist mental nerf was dumb. Scott and Liam, barely any interactions. You would barely know they were like a mentor student, like sort of relationship at all. You would think Liam is just some has-been that Scott was just over. Liam and Mason, no interactions really at all. I think except for like one scene in the whole film. And yeah, I was just like, after, coming to the conclusion with all that, I'm like, yo, this movie is like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. It's up there with like Mortal Kombat Annihilation in terms of how awful it is. That shit is bad. So, yeah.
Hold on, nothing too is the writing points, dude. So,
oh my god,
the last time we saw the Nogutsune was with
Isaac
and Isaac.
Yeah.
So tell me why a character who never met Isaac has a Nogutsune with this new character in Japan, and tell me why Liam is keeping this evil spirit next to herbs and spices in his little ramen restaurant. Whoever thought of that? Like, that is
in the most obvious spot where somebody who wants to take it can.
And also, like the whole entire Yakuza in that ramen shop. Like, Harris walked in, and then every little Japanese guy has like 6,000 Glocks on him and starts firing. And mind you, Harris has no powers. How did he survive that? You have like 1,000 little Asian men shooting you with ARs and pistols, and you somehow run out and you're able to take down Liam Dunbar and Hikari Zeng with no powers.
Yeah, man. And then the fact that 2 seconds later he apparently gets through all the Yakuza and then comes out, has perfect aim, by the way, in shooting Liam in the air, and then takes the Triskelion after, dealing with Hikari. And oh man, like, it was so, even the Nogitsune was acting out of character. It was so dumb. And yeah, hold on. Toxicar's in the chat. What's up, Renku? Bro, Mr. Harris being the bad guy was so stupid. It was so dumb. Like, I thought it was cool at first because we hadn't seen him in a long time, but no, looking back on it, it was dumb.
No, it was dumb. It was dumb.
It was so stupid.
What? He was dead. He was dead.
Yeah, the Rock killed him in season 3.
It would have made more sense for the Rock to be the villain and have Harris back than to have it be the Nogitsune.
Yep.
Because the Nogitsune was after Harris, so that makes no sense for two characters who have never interacted or even anywhere near the same. Hold on. No, because I guess that the Daruk's sacrifices on the Nematon is really what gave the spirit power again. That's like the only connection you can potentially make between Harris and the Nogitsune, but I doubt a chemistry teacher knew that. So I think it's pretty ridiculous to have Nogitsune and Harris be like best friends all of a sudden. So weird.
Yeah, and then just making Jackson weak as hell. Like, the dude was basically taken out after one gunshot to his leg. I'm like,
I know.
Oh, this is so bad. I still need to watch that video from that one content creator that made that hour-long video on why the movie was garbage. I think that video is almost at 1 million views, so that should tell you how much it tainted the series image. And literally people from the fandom who had never, or at least I had never seen them before, were literally coming out of nowhere talking about how garbage that movie was. And mind you, some of these people have stated they were there when the series premiere first dropped back in 2011, and they were so disgusted with how terrible the movie was, they felt inclined to come on YouTube and make content about it. So, yeah. Oh, man.
I was looking at videos in Rise and Sun, I only clicked this because I saw hoax. Nemo, I remember you. What's up, big guy?
Hold on,
I'm looking on Twitter, and a lot of these posts are getting like 1 million views about the 15-year anniversary. I think the audience is still there. I think it just has a studio needs to take a risk and give Tyler Posey some money so he can make this new. I think a new season would be better than the second movie.
Yeah, I agree. I think I thought that's what they were going to do, right? Because in 2020, I made that video. I
wish it was a season.
Yeah.
I think right now, if it was a season, it would be so much different. And I honestly think that Dylan O'Brien would have returned for a season, for a couple episodes maybe.
Yeah.
I think he would have done it.
Well, remember when Holland did that Howler Back podcast she did when the movie first came out, when she had Jeff Davis on that episode, which, let me know if you guys want me to react to that and talk about it on the channel, because there was a lot of stuff we didn't know. Teen Wolf was supposed to be like 10 seasons. So they very well could bring it back and have it be, like really Teen Wolf season 7 instead of doing a freaking movie. And I actually do think if the movie was told in the format of a season where you could flesh out a lot of this, because a lot of the ideas are there for a good season. It's just you couldn't do what you wanted to do in 2 hours and 20 minutes. Like, yeah. So I think if the movie was fleshed out as like a full-fledged season, it could have been a lot better than what we got. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is at this point. Yeah. So Black Chocolate says they made Derek a true alpha just to kill him. Yup. Stupid. Dumb. Hated that shit. It was so dumb, bro. Like, imagine if you would have had 2 true alphas. 2. It was so dumb, bro.
Also, I feel like it's so annoying because Derek's like, quick, I got him. You can run away. And then, like, they let go, and Jordan Parrish still clearly has an Nogitsune in control and could just do it without Derek there.
Right?
It meant fucking nothing. It meant nothing. He
right?
Die. He wanted to be martyred. It's not the first time either. He's had a knack for this. You know what I mean? He died in what, season 4. He has a habit of dying. It must be a Hale thing. I do think I know what they try to do with his death. I think it's like a little, again, full circle moment where he dies by fire the way his family did. But I think it was just stupid and rushed because it's stupid. But if they do make another season or a TV show, another season or a movie, one way I wanted them to interact with Derek would be the way Derek interacted with Talia back in
Yeah, with the claws, right?
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I see people talking about, well, when the movie first came out, was how can we bring Derek Hill back? Have this theory, that theory, that theory. I'm like, why bring him back? He's dead. Let him be dead. You know what I mean? It took, what, a decade inverse from to get Allison back, and it had to be done through the Nagitsune. They can't easily bring back Derek. I don't think they'd even try to. If we're going to have any Derek scenes, let it be through the way Derek talked to Talia, through his claws, for Eli Hale, at least.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Never revealed who's the mother of Derek's son. Yep, I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. It's not that important, but...
Yeah, that's true.
It's stupid, because why are you going to give Derek a child? Out of, like, all this time, never once mentioned in the TV show, like, hey, I have a kid, by the way. Like, where was Derek being, like, a good parent when he was down in South America? Did he take Eli there with him when he was hunting, like, everyone down and stuff, or when he was on the run from the FBI? Like, it was never mentioned then. It was never a plot point. But then, a couple of years later, Jeff Davis saw Superman and saw how Talia played that. I was like, you know what, we want that for Teen Wolf. And let's make Eli Hale just a clone of Silas Linsky because we can't get Dylan O'Brien back.
Yup, exactly. Ezio says that if they were going to waste Jackson so hard in the movie like they did, they might as well have used him as the sacrifice instead of Derek. 100% agree. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do anything. Jackson was literally just there for comedic relief. He didn't do shit. So... And some of the pairings of the movie were weird, like Malia and Parrish?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Even the actors were like, why are we doing this? Like, where did that come from? Malia and Parrish, we have Lydia breaking up the Styles over a bad dream. Like,
when she's had plenty in the show and there was never a reason for her to make, like, any real crazy altering decisions. Like,
literally.
Like, Lydia, how many predictions have you had as a Banshee since season 2 and 3, and it never correlated to you making any decisions of, oh, I'm not going to do this because that might happen. But when the one happens with Styles, when you know if you just do things differently, it's not going to happen, you decide to break up with Styles, who they spent the whole show, by the way, building up towards, until it eventually finally happened in season 6. I don't know. Yeah, I feel like the more I talk about this movie, the more we lose brain cells, bro. So, yeah, I guess this will be the last time we ever talk about this bullshit film. All right, so we're kind of halfway through the stream now. All right, so moving on to the next section. I guess we'll do a recap real quick of the first 10 years of the channel. Yeah, I can't believe it's been, next year will be 10 years since I dropped my first ever Teen Wolf video. That is crazy.
I'll be back.
All right, bet.
Right?
Gotcha, bro. All right, so yeah, this is kind of like a solo section, so I can kind of just, get through this section real quick. But yeah, I can't believe it's been 9 years almost since I made my first Teen Wolf video. Like I said, a lot of the community tabs recently, there were a lot of things I wish I would have done differently with the first run of this channel. A lot of subscribers. I got some nice comments over the years. I got some bad comments. But it led to some really ugly back and forths that I'm not particularly proud of. I wish I could have handled a lot of those situations differently, which is why I asked all those questions, like what can I do to improve? How can I be better? And yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that happened where, I wish it didn't, especially the drama with Teen Wolf News, a couple of other content creators I won't bring up. And yeah, it kind of just hurt my image, I think, for a while. And it led me to not really going about running the channel with the original intent that I had running the channel in the first place, which is what I want to get back to with my return from retirement. And yeah, I think to really top off this section, the recap of the first 10 years, very experimental, lot of mistakes made, but a lot of lessons learned from running the channel and going about the content the way I was doing it. And, I learned a lot of stuff from both Croheezy, who's not on YouTube anymore, he's retired, and Mason, aka Hoax, that shaped me into how I make content today and how I kind of just go about myself as a content creator now. So yeah, that's sort of the first 10 years sort of wrapped up in a nutshell. Like, a lot of mistakes, a lot of learning, a lot of growing, a lot of maturity through those mistakes, a lot of accountability, and a very experimental phase. I experimented with a lot of different things. I used to make my thumbnails on Canva. Now I make them on Photoshop. I used to edit. Like, majority of my videos are made on my phone. But as in the last 3-4 years, I've been editing on my desktop rig or former desktop rig, now my laptop. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the recap. I guess moving on to the next section, while Mason's away, because it's kind of a solo section
I'm
too.
here. I'm back now.
Oh, you're back. You're back. Okay.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean, I was really want to do like a little recap of my YouTube career.
Oh, okay. If you want to do so, too, that's cool, bro. Hold up, real quick.
Okay.
Black Chocolate just became a pack member. He just became a member of the channel. So shout out to Black Chocolate. Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, became a channel member of my channel. Not jealous or anything. It's fine. Do you Black Chocolates? Okay. Alright, anyway, okay. So it started in 2020. I was doing, again, like little fan edit videos of like Teen Wolf, Cobra Kai, stuff like that. And that's when I met Croheezy, and he and I did a collab on a video. And then a couple months later is when I started seeing your videos pop up, and I think nothing of it at the time until Teen Wolf the movie gets announced and you're doing a live stream regarding the announcement. That's our first interaction where I was commenting in that. And then after that, I think I saw your video with Historic about the Klaus Michelson versus Scott McCall debate, and I was in that premiere as well. And you called me a bitch or something like that. And I was thinking, there's no way, there's no way this guy's calling me a bitch. So I was like, you know what, fine, I'll make a video. And I made a video on you, and I was like, hey, I think you're I think you're being a bit biased here, whatever. And then after that, you were commenting in my comment section, and it was, let's talk about this on a live stream. So we did. And in that live stream, we had a conversation, and I was like, I want to post the similar videos you're posting. You're like, go for it. So I started doing that on Hoax Productions, and it took a while for me to figure out that I wanted to do solely Teen Wolf content. At the time, I was just focused on getting subscribers and getting views. So I'd do Teen Wolf content, and then I'd throw in a Stranger Things video or a Cobra Kai video, and then I realized after a couple months that wasn't working at all. So I stopped posting on that channel, and I went to Hoax 2.0, which was the channel before Hoax Talks, and that was popping off too. I was getting like thousands of views per video. The subscriber count was going up. I was making only Teen Wolf content. It was going pretty good, and then that got banned for impersonation of another channel, which I think was ridiculous because I'm me. But it got false reported and spam reported by a bunch of other content creators in the scene I won't mention. And after that, that's when I created Hoax Talks, and Hoax Talks, yeah, but I have all my videos still, they're all unlisted, but the growth from Hoax Talks, it only took me a year to get 100,000 subscribers, which might not sound impressive, but when you're talking about Teen Wolf, getting 100,000 subscribers is pretty impressive. And I posted consistently. I posted videos, my Teen Wolf guide, my verse battles, my what ifs, my theories, my explanation videos. I was posting those for about 2 years, and then I eventually stopped in late 2024. But yeah, I've been posting Teen Wolf content for about, I think, 3-4 years all up. And it started because you called me a bitch. So, also another thing too is without Teen Wolf, we wouldn't be friends either. So that's something.
Yeah, true. Yeah, right. Without Team Wolf, we wouldn't have never met, bro.
Literally. And like chat, you know us as like Jade's Corner and Hoax Talks, but behind the scenes, Jade and I are like very close friends. We talk pretty much every day, and also that stuff that's not Teen Wolf as well. So
yeah,
we
facts.
became good friends over YouTube, over Teen Wolf. So I'm grateful for that as well.
Yeah, bro. Sorry, bro. I'm also trying to keep up with. Do you watch like game events, like when they announce new games, like Summer Games Fest and stuff?
Sometimes, yeah. Why?
Bro, the amount of insane game announcements that we just got in the last like hour, bro. I wanted to scream on stream, but I didn't want to interrupt you talking, bro. Like, bro, Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. We got the sequel for Cuphead announced. Monster Hunter Wilds expansion pass, bringing back insane iconic monsters. Like, I'm just hyped as hell right now, bro. As a fan of gaming, but yeah, that's like completely unrelated from the stream. But I'm trying to keep up with like this stream and that stream, and I'm seeing the news, and I'm trying not to get too giddy on stream. But yeah, sorry, bro.
Very good. I'm so excited for the Wolverine game coming out.
Yeah, bro.
It's the only reason I bought a PS5. I could have went to a concert of my favorite band, but I was like, nah, I want Wolverine. So,
yeah, dude, that gameplay trailer was amazing.
I know. I'm a massive fan of Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine's golden, bro. So good. But yeah, I guess that can kind of move into the next section, which is, I guess, how I found my love for Teen Wolf again after 3 years. So yeah, I guess this will be explained more in the Everything Addressed video, which again I already recorded days ago. So that video will be up tomorrow afternoon, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I'm gonna touch on this a little bit, but you guys can watch that video for the full explanation. But essentially, the reason why it took me so long to find my love for the show again is because of the goddamn Teen Wolf movie. You know, when I realized how garbage it was, full credit to you, Mason, for that. It really changed my perspective. Like, I tried to rewatch the show several times after, but I could never get through the first 3 episodes of season 1 because I just had no desire to do so. And it just kept going back to, bro, the movie really hurt the show to the point where, like, if I did get to season 3, I can never unsee what they did with the Nogatsune in the film and Allison, because I'm like, it just ruins everything. So to try and separate the two, you know, the show from the movie, was very difficult for me to do for a long time. And it bled into the channel and me taking a lot of breaks because, you know, I was like, bro, I don't really know if I want to talk about the show anymore because I don't think I really love it as much as I used to, until I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to sit down. I'm going to see if I can finally get through season 1. And I finally managed to do it. And once I did that, I said, okay, I think the disdain and perception change that the movie had on me for, you know, the franchise as a whole finally wore off. It took a long goddamn time, but it finally did. So, yeah, that's essentially how I found my love for the show again. You know, it took a long time for the after effects of how the movie, you know, changed my image and perception of the series to wear off, to where, you know, I was finally able to give it a chance again. And now I'm on season 2 and I'm enjoying the show as much as I did, you know, before the movie even came out. So yeah, that's pretty much it there. Really nothing more than that. So, yeah.
I wanna try and rewatch Teen Wolf after this live because I don't think what's going on today. So I guess we'll see if good old Hoax Talk can still love the show. It's never really an issue for me to like disconnect the movie from the TV show because I only watched the movie once, only one time. And it was the biggest piece of dog shit that I've ever seen, so I didn't give it a second thought after I watched it. So, I can watch a TV show without even thinking about it.
Yeah,
I think the reason I haven't been able to watch it is because, like, when I, again, with Hoax Fox, I was posting daily, once or twice a day. I had to work on, like, 2 videos a day at times. Like, when you're watching the show over and over again, so many hours of a day to make content, it, like, the show became something, like, more like a job for me to do than to enjoy because I was monetized and I was making money from it, which was amazing. But when you have to sit there and repeatedly watch scenes over and over and over again, like, it gets boring after a while.
Yeah, I think that it was definitely the same thing for me too. Like on top of the movie, it definitely became a job, or at least it felt that way. Watching the show. I'm
Hold on,
watching to.
yeah, hold on. Before you don't get me wrong. Like, I see content creators say that we're like, well, YouTube became like a job for me. That was never an issue. I wanted YouTube to be my job, so that wasn't an issue. I don't want you guys thinking like, well, Mason took Teen Wolf for granted or YouTube for granted because I didn't. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact I was making money and the fact that it was considered a job for me. I see again other content creators, some in this scene, or who I won't name, were like, I quit because it felt like a job, dude. And you should be grateful that it feels like a job.
Yeah,
You can talk about it. Yeah.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like, oh man, yeah. I mean, it became. I don't want to say it became like a chore, but like you were mentioning, watching scenes over and over and over again, it gets boring after a while, and especially not instead of watching the show to sort of watch it as a fan, rather than as compared to trying to watch it as a content creator, trying to understand the lore, understand the history of what's going on, and how various things work in that verse. It definitely takes a toll for sure. I think that's definitely the reason why burnout happened, for both me and you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like coming back here, watching the show is more so like a fan and kind of treating this as like a hobby again, not really a job. Even though I do get monetized from doing this stuff, and I did have a sponsor before, and I might possibly get a sponsor again depending on how well the content does moving forward. I'm still not going to change that perspective that I have now of just separating the two. Like, yeah, YouTube, it feels like a job sometimes, but I think treating the two as two separate entities, like watching the show as a fan, but as a fan, you still take in that information, and when it's time to do YouTube, because you're so knowledgeable on what you're talking about, now you can use that information you watched, while you're watching the show as a fan to sort of, make that content, make the best content you can, and kind of go about your day from there. So yeah, that's sort of my thoughts on that.
Hold on. First trailer for the Attack on Titan 3 game.
What? Hold up. No way. Nah, Summer Games Fest is going crazy right now. No way they announced it.
I love it. I love Attack on Titan. I love Attack on Titan. It was one of my favorites.
Attack on Titan is the greatest anime of all time.
Attack on Titan 3 announcement.
What? It's real, bro. Wow. Nah, this gotta be the greatest Summer Games Fest of all time. Dude, that's insane.
Jonesy has been shot in Fortnite lore, presumed dead. Okay.
Yo, what?
Final Fantasy Revelation. Release in spring.
What the hell is going on?
Stellar Blade Blood Rain has been announced.
Stellar Blade DLC?
Hold on. A remastered version of The Wolf Among Us is releasing later this year. The new trailer for The Wolf Among Us 2 has been released. Oh, I'm definitely playing that.
Star Wars Zero Company? What the hell is this?
Godzilla has been added to Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. 007 First Light will be getting a story DLC mission. First trailer for the Among Us animated series now streaming on Paramount Plus.
There's a new Saw game? What?
Gameplay trailer for Star Wars Zero Company, a new turn-based Clone Wars combat game. Hold on. Yeah, watch this.
Yo, what is going on, bro?
Oh, Anakin's in there too.
What
First
the?
trailer for this, a new 3v1 multiplayer horror game. Century before Jigsaw, where 3 accused must work together to... That seems fun. The story trailer for Star Wars Galactic Racer has been released.
Yup, I saw that.
Resident Evil Veronica has been announced.
Yeah, that's
First look at Gundam Rogue Orbit.
the Code Veronica remake. Can't
First
wait for
poster.
that.
Hold on. First poster for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle: The Last Ronin game.
Dude, when I saw that, I was like, bro, The Last Ronin is getting a video game, bro?
Dude, I literally have the Last Ronin comics. I can pull up. I have even the multiple covers, the cover variations. I have like so many Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics. That, oh my god. Like,
Dude, I was going to...
Stranger than Heaven.
Bro, I was literally going to make a full comic book series on Jade Comics covering The Last Ronin because I love that story so much. It's literally the best Ninja Turtle story of all time.
100%. A new hand-drawn animated Cuphead game is in the early works.
Yeah, and then they also announced Cuphead 2.
A group of U.S. states, including California and New York, are preparing to file a lawsuit to block Paramount's acquisition of Warner Brothers.
Monster Hunter Wilds Ascendance reveal trailer. Oh my god, bro.
The Among Us animated series has just been surprise release on Paramount Plus, so I guess that wasn't supposed to come out today, but it did.
Oh, they shadow dropped it. Okay. I hear you, bro.
Oh, dude, they released a clip of the Supergirl movie with Clark. And, like,
Yeah,
Clark,
I saw that.
Dude, that looks amazing.
Yeah, dude, it was so good, man.
So good.
Bro, we getting distracted. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Hey, listen, if y'all in the chat are fans of video games, bro, y'all gotta check out this Summer Games Fest stuff because the game announcements are absolutely insane. Like, this gotta be the best. It feels like E3 all over again, bro. Like, this is awesome. I'm not gonna lie. This is so dope. But yeah, anyway. back to the stream, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. We got distracted with Summer Games Fest stuff. Yeah, we're kind of almost at the end of the stream anyway. So yeah, we only got like 2 sections left, and that's pretty much it. But next section is plans for the next decade. What am I going to be doing? So actually, before I was on the stream all day, I've been gathering a bunch of stuff, and I mean a bunch of stuff. So
hold on. One thing I want to mention is rest in peace, Anthony Head.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank you for bringing that up, bro. Yes. Yeah. Man.
As a kid, I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer with my stepmom like so much. It was like the first ever supernatural TV show that I ever watched, and it's so nostalgic to me looking back at it. So when I found out that Anthony Head passed away, that's hit me in the core a little bit. So rest in peace to him, man.
Yeah, facts, man. I mean, you were the first one to tell me about that news, and when I first found out about it, I was, man, I can't even describe how upset I was when I first found out that. Yeah,
there was supposed to be that Buffy revival TV show too.
Yeah, that got canceled. Yup, I remember hearing about that as well.
Man.
But yeah, man,
it's a bad time to be a Buffy fan. You had who passed away. I can't remember the name.
We had Michelle Trachtenberg last year. Dawn pass away at a very young age. We had Nicholas Brendan earlier this year. Xander, who passed away.
That's it. And we
have now Anthony Stewart Head, aka Giles, man. Giles. So yeah. If you're a Buffy fan, it's a rough time to be a fan of Buffy and Angel too, not just Buffy. So, I mean, literally of the main cast of season 1 of Buffy. It's just Willow and Buffy left. That's it. Everybody else passed away. So, yeah, very, very sad. Glad you brought that up, Mason. Thank you for that. I was going to do a whole section of the stream where we just were like talking about, his passing, because I think it's very important. It's a very big loss for sure. And yeah, I'm still not over it. I'm still in complete shock that it just sort of happened out of nowhere. But yeah, man, that just made me really sad. Oh man. I guess plans for the next 10 years. So I was gonna show you guys, what I had planned, but my drive decided to crap out on me while we were in the middle of the stream. So I'll just tell you, we're running Teen Wolf, Vampire Diaries, Originals, Supernatural, pretty much the whole slate I had planned in 2021 that I wanted to do, but never really got a chance to. Fantasy Fights are making a return. The What If videos are making a return. Pretty much all the popular stuff that you guys wanted, that I, told you guys in that poll, all that's coming back. I have a bunch of What If ideas that I'm ready to get going. There's a brand new series coming out. I'm not going to reveal what it is on stream. I'll keep that a surprise for when that video drops. That's going to be replacing the Strongest in Teen Wolf series. If you guys are subscribed to my Jade Comics channel and Motsky channel, you would know what series that is. I've kind of shared, a little bit with Mason too on what I was doing for that channel, but essentially that channel and what I was doing for the power scaling for those two channels is what I'm going to be doing for Jade's Corner in terms of replacing it, and have it be the new essentially the new Strongest in Teen Wolf series. So yeah, that's coming as well. I also recently decided that I am going to run a podcast alongside, running back, content on here. The podcast is officially called Spook Sesh. I know, totally original, right? But, I got inspired from NBA channel that I watch, for basketball content called Nerd Sesh.
Yeah.
So it's basically the Supernatural version of what that channel does. Two cool guys over there, but essentially what the podcast is going to be, it's going to be me talking about just, facts and sort of, history about various different television series and movie franchises that, either got lost to history or, the general audience just doesn't know about. So instead of making videos, because I used to make videos on that sort of stuff, but it never really did well on the channel. So instead of making dedicated videos as main content for that stuff, I instead decided to ultimately put it on the podcast because I thought that avenue would be better for that type of content. That way on the main channel, we can just focus on the videos that everybody wants to see. So I think that's going to do very, very well. And the podcast, it's going to be on YouTube, so you can kind of treat it like an Apple podcast or like a Spotify podcast. Whenever you're doing something, you can just sort of put it on in the background, just listen to, me ramble on about some history. I have ideas for what I want the first podcast episode to be. I think that video is going to ultimately be sort of a retrospective in history on the Dylan O'Brien injury, how it affected Teen Wolf Season 6, his career, and how it sort of changed his life forever. So I think that'll be a good little informative first episode for that podcast. Don't have a date yet for when the first episode is going to drop. I'm planning on having a couple of guests, possibly make a surprise. Hoax included if he wants to, hop on an episode or two and wants to, talk about some good, about some good, nostalgic history. But yeah, it should be a good time. Should be very fun. And yeah, like I said, I'm pretty much going to, approach the channel with all the mistakes that I made in the first run, sort of being, eliminated. I've learned a lot on how to, treat people and treat my subscribers. And you guys definitely deserve better from me, because I feel like I haven't been sort of the best creator that I could be for you guys over the years. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that, I'm going to approach differently this time around that, I think you guys will definitely appreciate. And I guess this kind of leads into the last sort of section for the video, and that's announcing the everything address video, which I've talked about several times in the stream. So yeah, I guess that's kind of it there, really. And I guess that marks the end of the stream. So we can really just talk about whatever we want for the next like 20 minutes. Because the NBA Finals Game 2 does start in a little bit. And
Jade has priorities, chat. He wants to watch this final. Right?
Listen, bro. The New York Knicks are in the NBA Finals, baby. First NBA Finals since 1999. That's my home team. And my whole family and all my friends in real life that live where I live, that I grew up with, we're all Knicks fans, so we are all rooting for them to beat Victor Wembanyama, the alien freak from France, and kick the San Antonio Spurs ass. All right, bro?
You hear that, chat? He only cares about basketball now. He doesn't care about any of yous.
Nah. It's really not like that, bro.
Giving you membership? I'm right here. I'm right here, dude. Just saying. I'll never give you guys that for basketball.
Speaking of memberships, bro, Black Chocolate said a while ago, he said it's not letting him become a member of your channel. He said he wants to become a member.
Oh, for the Mason Comics Con, I don't have 500 subs yet for the requirement.
Gotcha.
So,
how can?
There's also no pressure, so I don't need members. Just a joke.
Bro said I can only find one video on Jade Comics, or is it the wrong one? No, there's only one video uploaded on there, bro. I haven't had a chance. I've been dealing with a lot of, real life stuff. My life's been fucking crazy outside of YouTube, especially over the last 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm not really. It's like family stuff, and yeah, I'm not gonna get into that on stream. It's very personal. Dealing with a lot, as you guys can kind of tell, actually, with the background. I'm in a brand new room, so actually, that kind of goes hand in hand with the sort of eras on Jade's Corner. Like the last video I made on this channel was in my old bedroom. Now I'm in a new bedroom. So
can we take a little segment to like talk about how long it took this man to upgrade his setup? This guy was still making like videos on like Power Direct and on his phone. He used to like prop his phone up. He used to prop his phone up on a windowsill, on a pair of glasses, and sit there and talk for 15 minutes with like barely any editing.
Yo,
it took this man so long for him to get a microphone, to get an editing software, and to start making actual content. It took a solid minute. Cause I was there the whole time, Chad. I pushed this man in that direction.
Listen, man, I had to work with what I had at the time. When I was younger, I couldn't afford a high-end, powerful laptop or not laptop, but like desktop rig that was powerful enough to run YouTube at the time until, my mom and we saved up enough money and we eventually got, the one that I got in 2022. And, I didn't know shit about Photoshop or, Premiere or DaVinci. So it was like new territory for me. By the time I had gotten, the upgraded setup, I was editing on Video Leap for years on my phone, and I'd become sort of a master at editing on Video Leap, at least with the skill set that I had at the time. So yeah, I mean, I'm blessed to have everything that I have now. I've had this microphone for 2 years. If you guys remember, my old mic was garbage. It was so bad, bro. Hoax used to clown on me so much for it, bro.
It was like some Temu shit, I'm telling you now.
It was so bad.
It was genuinely like, dude, I can't even explain it. Your microphone would sound better if you got like a little cup and put a string through it.
Yeah. But yeah, like even, recording on my phone, like I don't really record on my phone anymore. I have a dedicated Elgato camera, which is what I'm using for the stream today and what I've been using for the last couple of years when you guys do see me on camera. And yeah, I have a freaking high-end laptop with a 5070 Ti laptop GPU in it now. So yeah, I mean, the stuff that I've been able to get over the years to improve my setup, it's incredible. I'm incredibly blessed and fortunate to have, everything that I've been able to achieve and get. But yeah, it used to be rough back in the day. As you guys know, a lot of the older content, it was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. So
remember that little intro that I made for you, like, of you turning into a werewolf. Back That was like the most cringiest shit of all time. Hold on, can I like go to the channel and see if I can fluff with that?
Bro, and
I tried my best, bro. I tried my best. You said
I know you did, bro. Listen,
like,
bro.
I was like, this guy didn't listen. Like, he opened up his mouth, I can't edit and fang. It said eyes only. And then let me see if I can go find that. Hold on, I think
There was no way the amount of editing you did to fix that was salvaging whatever the hell that intro turned out to be. That shit was garbage. I'm so glad I stopped using it because I was like, bro, I'm about to lose like my whole fan base with this cringe bullshit. Man.
It's somewhere. I'm gonna find the intro. That's like some nostalgia right there, chat. It was even your profile picture for a little while too.
Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, that was a rough era, man, for sure. Yeah. Ugh. Are they?
There's so many videos. I probably can't find the intro.
But everybody's asking about Elder Scrolls 6 in the chat. Hopefully they do Elder Scrolls 6. When did Skyrim come out? 2010, 2011? It's been a long time. Skyrim been out for a hot minute. Not gonna lie. But
my internet cut out.
Oh, you're good, bro.
Black chocolate. I don't want to like get bullied here again. So what were you saying?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying, like, everybody in chat's kind of asking about Elder Scrolls 6. And I was like, how long has it been since Skyrim came out? It's been a hot minute, I think. Like 15 years or something.
Know, man. I found the photo, dude.
You found it? Oh, no.
I found it, bro. Alright, look at this call. This was the intro.
Oh, no! Oh, my God.
You know what's funny? The thing, too, is you can watch your eyes, like, look at your camera to see what you look like, then back at the camera again. It was funny as hell.
Bro, I think that and the Ben 10 intro that I had was probably the two worst ones. It's so bad. Yeah, I just went back and rewatched it. I was like, oh my God.
Dude, literally. Dude, you had like a 3-minute video, and the first 2 minutes would be an intro.
The intro, right?
Yeah. The longest intros. I guarantee you any amount of money. If you check the statistics, the only person watching that intro was you. Because there's no way people were watching that, man. I'm telling you, dude, you had the longest intros. It was painful to watch. Man.
Bro, and people used to complain so much. They were like, bro, why the fuck is the intro like 2 minutes?
Dude, you were a little bit stubborn. You were like, it's my job.
I was.
Like, bro, I'm gonna calm down.
I was very overprotective because, you know, at the time I was just like, bro, I worked so hard on these intros and I thought they were cool. Dude, but then everybody's saying they're shit and they're too long, so I'm like, damn.
I know, dude. And also, intros is like an old YouTube thing. No one else is doing intros
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
You came out with like a 2-minute intro. I'm like, dude, come on. That was your pride and joy. You were so protective of this intro. I remember it. Like, oh my God. You got so angry if anyone ever brought up an intro.
Bro, it's so funny talking about this stuff because, like, oh, man. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like intros are like such like an early 2010s thing. Like the fact that I was still, you know, doing them, and the fact that like it was so egregiously long. Like just my bias for, you know, working on it and putting so much time and passion into each of the intros and thinking they were good. Like it blinded all criticism and just me accepting and being like, bro, stop fucking making them so long, bro. Like, they're not that good.
You guys understand Peak Jade's Corner. Peak Jade's Corner is you watch a long-ass intro that goes on for like half the video, and then you see him at a windowsill with his phone out with glasses on, and he's there talking with like no other editing. Like, all the editing budget went into the intro itself. And that was Peak Jade's Corner, okay?
Yo. Nah, but it's so true, though, because I'm like, listen, especially in 2022, which I think is the era you're referring to.
Yeah.
Like, I remember I went on vacation. I went to Texas, and I wanted to have, a bunch of stuff to put on the channel while I was out because I didn't bring my setup with me. So I was like,
Yeah, you
dude,
recorded like so many videos in one day.
yeah.
Why does this dude clothes the same each time? Does he even shower?
Yeah, no, because I had recorded all of them back to back to back to back in one session because I was like, I don't have any other days I'm available to record this stuff. So I was like, let me just record all the videos in one session and just schedule them to come out, during different parts of the week. And that'll be the content fed to, my people until I get back and I'm able to record new stuff. So I also think that was around the time I had just gotten my desktop rig too. So those were like the last pieces of content I ever recorded, that were dedicated specifically for the channel on my phone. So yeah, pretty crazy era to look back on, not gonna lie.
Crazy era.
I can promise you guys, no more long intros. There will be no intros that are like 2-3 minutes. Yeah, I learned my lesson the hard way on that. So,
Toxie said, "How is the weather in Australia? It's cold. It's cold. Let me hold on. It was like, let me check.
Is it winter for you guys over there?
It is. It is.
Damn, it's almost summer for us over here, bro.
Okay. So last night in Fahrenheit, it was like 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Damn.
It was cold last night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, chat, it was cold. Your boy Hoax was shivering his timbers last night. That's how the weather is, Toxie. It's cold. That's the only way I can explain it. Australia has like the hottest temperatures in summer and the coldest temperatures in the winter. It's a weird state. It's a weird country to live in.
Yeah, child, listen, bro. Because I'm like, a couple of months ago, it was summer for you guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's so crazy how that works. Like, you guys were in summer, and we were in the winter, bundled up with all this damn snow, and now you're in winter.
It was literally. You know how weird it was when I realized that in America, December, February, and January is like winter for you guys. That like actually shocked me a little bit because I knew the seasons would change, obviously.
Yeah.
But I never really put two and two together. That hold on, when it's December, it's winter for these guys. I can't imagine that. Like that's so weird. Like December is just summer for us, and June, and July, and August is winter for us.
That's so weird hearing December in the summertime because I'm like, being in America, it's like, bro, we associate December with, oh, we're about to get out of school for winter break and Christmas Eve and New Year's is on the way. So
yeah. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the years in Australia, we go summer, autumn, winter, spring. That there is normal for me. But in America, like it goes winter, spring, summer, autumn.
Yeah. Yep.
That doesn't. Nah.
Like, dude, if you were to come over here right now, you'd probably be like, I'm not going back home because it's so warm over here. Like, it's how hot has it been recently?
It's warm, but I've also seen your guys' beaches, and that is like depressing.
Yeah.
So,
unless you're in like Florida or like the Californias, yeah, the beaches they're alright. They're not really too much to. I don't even really go in the water anymore because the water's so murky. It's
dude, nothing beats an Australian beach. We have like the highest rated beaches in the world. Like,
I know. I want to go over there so bad.
Hold on. The beach I was at near. I'll show you a photo. So if you check my Insta, I went out like fishing and stuff on like a little holiday. So. Let me show you. This is the beach that was like 5 minutes away from me, my little holiday. And it's like this everywhere on the coast. If you check what I sent you on Discord, this is just like everywhere in Australia.
No way. Wow. Dude, we have nothing like that over here. It's so boring.
Nah, dude.
It's
Australia's
just
landscape is so good.
Dude, it's just straight sand and you just walk right into the water with nothing.
Dude, I've seen you post beaches where you are at, and it's like, oh my god, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, right. and then you see this bullshit you're sending me on Discord, and I'm like, wow.
I know.
Like,
It's like your beaches look depressing. I would not. Why would you want to go to the beach at that point? It just doesn't. It doesn't look fun. It's depressing.
listen, they're in the summertime.
Like,
You
hold
either
on,
go to the beach or you go to the amusement park. To be honest, where I'm from, so
dude. You're telling me this is an American beach? Like, what is this? What is this? This looks shit. It looks horrible. If I
yeah.
saw a beach like that and I was American, I would just fly to Australia just to go and go swimming at the beach.
Yep, that's the average beach experience for me every summer. To be honest, that's what they look like. It's all like this.
I'm telling you, if you ever experience an Australian beach, your life would be changed.
Yeah, bro, dude, just look at the water. Just look at the difference in the water. Like,
I know.
wow, I can't believe that. That's America, you're doing us dirty, bro. Why does our water look like that? Oh man.
Is that water even water? Oh my god, dude.
Well, then again, where I'm from, like every summer, there's I don't know. I think in recent summers it's been a lot better, but there used to be so much trash in the water. Like it was insane, bro. It was so bad. Like,
Yeah, no,
I'm trying to remember an example. I think I found like there was like Chinese food, like sauce packets. I think I found in the ocean one day, and I was just like, dude, how the hell is anybody swimming in this? Like it's so polluted, it's so dirty. Yeah, it's pretty rough. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, Australia beaches like we have like really strict and like environmental codes. There's pollution
Really?
everywhere. Yeah, there's pollution no matter where you go in the world.
Yeah,
But in Australia, places like beaches and like national forests and protected land, very clean.
crazy, bro.
Also, another thing too is Australia is like the same size as America, but there's only like 22 or 28 million people here. So
Wild.
not much people in Australia. But because we're only coastal, it seems overpopulated because our immigration policy is kind of shit at the moment. But when you look at the size of the country, the population, it's not that big of a population ratio.
Listen, that's because you guys are fighting your battles with those dangerous animals over there. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Dude, I'm telling, dude, you know, we're having a conversation. I've seen people complain about Australian animals, especially Americans. Like, oh my god, a spider! Oh my god, a snake! I would rather walk in a forest and come across a snake or a spider than an 8-foot fucking grizzly bear that's hungry for human flesh and tell me the only thing I can do is just lay down and accept that's going to eat me alive. There's no way. Or mountain lions? Or what? Oh, dude, no. I'd rather take a snake or a shark or a crocodile than a fucking 8-foot, 800-pound grizzly bear.
Yeah, no, grizzly. Listen, I've personally never seen a grizzly bear, but I never want to run into one. Real quick, D Killmonger 1 says, and hold on, guys, we have about like 3 more minutes before I gotta get off. He says, so I want to answer this real quick. He said, "Did you guys watch the Boys series finale? If so, what did you think about the ending?"
I like the ending. I think the ending was fine. I think people complained about it. I do understand the complaints where it's like, what are they even doing? There's only so many episodes left. And I understand that some of the episodes didn't feel as fulfilling when it came to closing off these characters, but I think the ending was fine. It's what you wanted. I wish Ryan wasn't depowered, though, if I'm being real with you. I really wish he had powers still. And the fact that there's no explanation on Soldier Boy, but that's just setting up the Boys Mexico. I think those two main issues are the only thing that I really had to say against the finale. Otherwise, I think it was pretty good. I think what happened to Homelander was amazing. I think Anthony Starr's acting as well was amazing. The Deep being killed, rest in peace, my goat, was sad to see, but well deserved as well. He was kind of a shitty character. I liked it. I don't think it was that bad as people make up to believe.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same opinion. I mean, if you know Homelander's character, if you've been paying attention to mannerisms and how he's acted since season 1, like the way he went out was kind of how I would imagine him always going out, because the personality that he showed it's how he's always been, right? The tough, stoic, I'm bigger and badder than everybody else. It's kind of just a front to hide his more insecure side. So I had no issues with the way Homelander went out. I know a lot. That's probably been the biggest complaint I've seen is, how people have said, oh, Homelander goes out kind of like a bitch. But, I mean, I don't know. I think the worst thing for me is that it made Gen V completely useless, which pissed me off beyond belief. The Soldier Boy stuff, unacceptable. The way he went out was garbage. And how he wasn't even involved in the finale at all. They kind of just put him aside to make Kimiko sort of the Soldier Boy replacement for the finale.
Yeah, that felt a bit stupid for me, if I'm being real with you.
Yeah, I didn't really vibe with that, to be honest.
But
and then
there's one thing that was good is I understand now. I think the Soldier Boy's confirmed to be in the Boys Mexico, the other spin-off that's happening. So that's
really?
We get an explanation there. Yeah, but one thing that was cool to see is like Jensen Ackles go. We're not going to be fixing up the old Impala. Like that was like a little nod to Supernatural. And
yeah,
I'd be like genuinely happy to see that. So that was like a cool moment in the show.
Yeah, that was pretty dope. But other than that, I don't really have any real.
Quick guys, it's time. He has to go for basketball.
Yeah.
He has to leave. Chat questions now. If not, see you next time.
But yeah, I don't really have any issues with the finale aside from that. But yeah, guys, I do have to unfortunately get off. My family actually we're talking in our little group chat right now. We're starting to get ready, so unfortunately this has to be the end. But thank you guys for coming into the stream. We had like 124 people, not at the same time, but like throughout the stream coming in and out. We've had 124 people watch the stream. So for that to be the amount of people watching for somebody who hasn't streamed like. Done a real stream like this in like 2.5 years. Very impressed with the way you guys showed out tonight, so I appreciate it. I'm gonna get out of here because I really gotta get downstairs. Hoax, if you want to say anything real quick before we get off, I'll let you.
I'll catch you the next time Jay goes live. That's when you'll see me again.
Yeah, pretty much. Since you're not doing the Teen Wolf stuff anymore. But anyway, that's it for me. Peace, guys. Happy 15th anniversary to Teen Wolf. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. I had a great time. I'm pretty sure Mason had a great time as well.
Yeah.